Summertime, of course, we're out, we're vibrant. Everybody's running around. It's fun time. It's playtime. Winter is cold. It gets dark faster, right? And over time, people develop, seasonal affective disorder. And seasonal affective disorder is like, wintertime and it's not much sun and people moods will change. They will become seasonal affective disorder, SAD, SAD. That's what that stands for. We say SAD all the time. A lot of people don't know that stands for something, SAD, seasonal affective disorder, SAD. So this was a whole field. This is a whole field, chronobiology, and it's talking about how seasons change. Wintertime, people get sick. It's dark more. You in house more. You're alone by yourself more. It's a lot more to deal with, and it's a sad time for people because a lot of time people don't want to deal with that. As I just said, they want to deal with themselves and deal with reality and everything during this time. But more than any time of the year, the winter is when you got to get shit done. That's how it always was. Wintertime, I would work a million jobs if I could. Work, grind, hustle, save. So when the summer comes, I got plenty of money, I could just go party. So a lot of times people just don't know why they're sad or why their emotions change through the seasons. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people have to take melatonin in the wintertime to deal with, sleepiness or what have you because of norepinephrine. And, I talked about norepinephrine, fight or flight hormone, of course, but it also has to deal with your sleep, that process. So you have with the, norepinephrine, you have the secretion of melatonin is in response to norepinephrine, the hormone. So in response to that, which norepinephrine, it'll make you sleepy. It causes sleepiness. So in response to that, you have this secretion of melatonin from the pineal gland. And you have dopamine receptors that's on the outside of the pineal gland that works with norepinephrine to basically detract this melatonin from the bloodstream. It regulates it. And it's what causes you to wake up in the morning. So I talked about this before, the whole suprachiasmatic nucleus and the whole awakening and sleep process is regulated from that suprachiasmatic nucleus process. So as I said before, the two organs you can say that basically deals with the sun or sunlight will be, of course, your eyes and the pineal gland. So from your eyes or through your eyes, we get the sun. The sun is what wakes you up in the morning. God. People say, oh, God woke me up in the morning. Yeah, God sure did. As soon as that light hit the outside of your eyelids, that starts the process of the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That basically starts the process of the pineal gland releasing with the, the call of norepinephrine and everything like that, that hormone releasing the dopamine or releasing the melatonin, what have you, I should say, from the blood and causing you to wake up. It's a quick, fast process. But it's God, understanding that whole process. So when Jacob says, Genesis 32:30, called the name of the place Pineal, I've seen God face to face. And then the Bible says no one has ever seen God. What is it talking about? This is what it's talking about. You got to make these esoteric connections because the Bible is giving you all this stuff. So people, it's hard for them to understand the spiritual understanding of the pineal gland and why you see the Pope walking around with the pine cone and all the symbolism with Christianity and the sun and the pineal gland is right there. It has to do with spirituality. It's what real spirituality comes from. So the Pope, they know what's going on. These religious people understand what's going on. So we have the methyltryptamine, you on an acid trip, or when we say you're tripping, oh man, you tripping. That's where it comes from. The methyltryptamine. So this is another hormone that basically is regulated through the pineal gland. And what the methyltryptamine, you have so many drugs that stimulates this and acid and LSD and so much stuff that causes, it's what really is triggered when you have mushrooms or what have you and all this stuff that puts you on a trip, that sends you into crazy moods or what have you. So the methyltryptamine it's what basically deals with the dream world. It deals with anybody who had like near-death experience. There's a lot of research done on this. Near-death experiences, religious experiences. So when you see people having the Holy Ghost and all that stuff and flipping out, we just think they acting crazy. They don't even know that they triggered this in the brain with the methyltryptamine through the pineal gland and them just becoming so spiritual. It's a powerful thing. And when people look at it, that's why they like, oh yeah, God done touched you. You understand what I'm saying? God done touched you. That's why you flipping out like that, stuff where you don't understand what's going on, so you have no control. When people do it, it's a powerful thing that they don't even understand. And it turns into foolishness, nonsense. It's just a waste of a super amazing experience that, is sad. It's messed up because you have no idea where to center this energy to benefit you. And for the people who reach these stages through religious experiences, it's such a profound thing to have happen to you. And you come out of it and people really feel like, yo, it makes you feel like that. Like God touched me or God did something to me. It's one of the reasons why it's hard for us to break this connection people have with Christianity, because when they have these experiences, it's so profound, it's so spiritual. You can't separate that from a person when they have it. And it's one of the reasons why, it's tough to argue with Christians, because when they feel this, they know what they felt. And it's a hallucination. That's the crazy part. You tripping, the methyltryptamine, because you don't even understand what's going on. When we see it done correctly with voodoo or what have you, understand what's going on, the connection between that and energy. They understand that they use it correctly. And yeah, somebody in the church on the corner of 52nd Street or what have you out there flipping out and thinking that they felt God, and they go out sinning. And after that, what is that? That's you corrupting everything spiritual about this situation. And that energy is going to bullshit. That's why we got churches in the hood everywhere, and ain't shit happening positive for the hood. All this power energy happening at that place that is being put to no use for us economically or really spiritually. It's messed up, and it's what it was created for that reason. Them knowing how powerful we are, what we can do, and what we can trigger within ourselves, but having that energy go to something that's going to not be beneficial to us as a people at all. It's going to be stupid, craziness, foolishness. So this is in you. So you look at the ancient Egyptians and how they studied the mind. I told you guys, the pyramids themselves represents the brain. The way it's built has to deal with the brain. Even the whole resonant, the frequency, all of the energy it puts out as far as the negative ions, all the stuff I got into in previous videos. Your brain it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And you have this so much energy just being, coming from that power center. And it's one of the reasons why meditation is key. So I always talk about, because you have this process of this energy going up and down the spine. Your spine, the base of the spine opening and closing to allow energy to flow. This is a 12-hour process you have of this energy that needs to make like a cycle. It's one of the reasons why they have, we talking about Kundalini energy. It's why they have the caduceus, the medical caduceus with the two serpents, and then the pine cone at the top, in some cases, or the ball at the top, which represents the pine cone. But that serpentine energy, the reptilian brain and everything of this flow of energy that happens within the body, 24 hours, 12 hours one way, 12 hours the other way. It's 24 hours. So this happens throughout the day, and it's not really happening with and it's no more, because it's controlled by social media and everything else. And to go back to, the French Revolution and what took place there, what are you going to do to make sure that never happens again? Distraction. So if you can control this process of the limbic system and just understanding how the pineal gland works and controlling that process of how the amygdala, the hippocampus, and just the hypothalamus controlling how our moods and how we do shit. People killing themselves because of social media, because they're looking at, scrolling through Instagram and seeing all the shit they can't and will never have, that they feel in their soul is impossible to get. And it fucks with them. It throws you emotionally out of whack. So you don't know what to do. You're trying to grab onto anything that can feed this or feel this. So twerking, or you trying to dress like a rapper or be like a rapper or be a rapper, and all that stuff that we see that they feed into us to pollute and control these energies. This is what this is about. So when you see the artist in the third eye, that's what that means. I'm one of the people in control of you. I know my role. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on. I understand. We see the symbolism. And of course, you got to associate it with evil because what they're doing is evil, but it's in no way satanic. It's power that you don't understand because in TV, they showed you shit coming out of people's hands and electricity and all this bullshit that got you thinking that's power. And power is, it could be unseen. We got Wi-Fi signal going, Bluetooth signal going. You can't see that shit. You have energy in the body that we can't see, but we know it's there. You can't see the soul. Can't see the energy in our brain. We know it's there. In our heart. It's a magnetic field there and here. Can't see that shit, but we know it's there. They control it. They are controlling it. So this is what this stuff is about. You can look at it as evil, of course, but satanic, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. So we got to think about these energies and these energies being connected to different parts of the body. You have your whole endocrine system, which has to deal with basically the chakras. And this is real stuff. And people hear chakras and they think spooky. Nigga, it's you. It's real. Like, stop it. People kill me with that. The chakras is real power, energy. I mean, you got to think about the energy that travels through the spine to go to different parts of the body to animate the body, to cause you to move or what have you. That's energy. It's power. And you have power centers up and down the spine that, correlates to different nerves and veins of the body, what have you. And it's a process, so this is all regulated through breath, breathing, so meditation is another thing that's key, getting your breathing under control. And then when it's almost like a, autonomous or automatic thing when you finally sync up perfectly with meditation and it happens. It just takes over. And just like when you sleep. So when you go to sleep, you're not consciously breathing and what have you, subconscious takes over and controls the body. You can do this consciously with meditation. You've been doing it for over 13 years like me. It happens. And this is how you control your moods. This is how you control your thoughts and the direction you go in life. Program yourself. See, again, going back to the French Revolution, American Revolution, they understood what happened, especially with the French Revolution and how philosophy, consciousness basically took down an entire fucking empire, entire kingdom, killed the king and queen. The people took over. Think about that. They seen that. So never again, we got to control that shit. And you guys been seeing the videos popping up in, up and down the timeline lately of how smart they were, 1800s, early 1900s. They invented so much shit we don't have it today. We don't have it. They had flying cars at one point. We don't have it today. You guys seen them inventions of the guy with the big wheel car and just so many inventions that they had that when you look at them, they're amazing stuff. And that was suppressed. All that stuff had to stop because before television and everything like that, we had time to read books and be in our mind. And then the understanding of enlightenment and being, a philosopher and just being in your thoughts and your mind was huge. And, remember, even if you go back to Titanic, the movie, just in the movie part, everything was about this society, not just about money. It was a sense of knowledge and enlightenment, associated with that. As I talk about with music, when you look at classical music, it's association with refinement and wealth. And you see these people and these white people get dressed up, and this is intelligence. It's built into all of us. We all have it, but they corrupted it in us, which is why hip hop, is us. Oh yeah, Black people, we're so proud of it and everything like that. And hip hop is destroying us because we're proud of it. We're proud of it and we're happy to have it and we think it's us and we want to associate us with such negativity and shit that's keeping us down. And you arguing with people to basically save them from what's destroying us. And it's crazy. And a lot of people who watched the video, the lecture at UNLV, like I said, my point was proven, just in how the panel was reacting and the questions that was asked. You can understand, my point was proven already. And, what was talked about in the video, just watch the video. You see what happened. I proved my point and they proved my point for me. But this is what we're dealing with. This is our argument, our fucking reality. It's this consciousness that's rooted in hip hop culture. And it's completely different from the fucking Renaissance and goddamn Age of Enlightenment and what took place with the French Revolution. There will be no revolution. You got some people that's out here conscious and we doing that, but we got to argue with the religious people and the hip hop people and the people who just think they know everything. And it's just like, who cares? As long as we don't win, that's all they care about. And they have so much power and control and influence over everybody. This is what what it is. But I want people to understand that, pineal gland is not something that's evil, and third eye is not something that is evil, no matter what type of symbolism they want to put over it. People seeing the last Doctor Strange movie with the, eye open up on his forehead. And every time we see something, they showed you that to look like, it's evil. And anybody who's in comic books or what have you, that's one of Doctor Strange things later on. In the comic books, he has that third eye, so it's powerful. So you got to understand a lot of this stuff is put out there to scare you, to spook you. Voodoo, all this stuff that's, sorcery and everything that's made to be evil, it's real power. Just to keep you away from that knowledge and understanding it. And this is why all this stuff was outlawed or considered demonic or what have you with the church, because they didn't want that knowledge being in the hands of the people anymore because of, what happened. And because they know it's real power and real understanding that they want, just, relegated or just talked about only in secret societies and held by them. So that 1% has this knowledge and this power and everything to have influence over all of us, which they do. And that's what they want. They don't want you knowing this shit. So at the same time, they can't stop it. They can only influence. And that's what this is. It can influence you to, put your attention into something else. And that's what's happening. That's what's taking place. Nothing to do with, the biblical Satan and demons or what have you. Demons are within you. Satan is within you. It's just the same as God. This is light and darkness. That's the next DVD coming out too, on light and darkness and water. We're going to get into this while you have, Avatar, The Way of Water, and you look at the new Black Panther movie having to deal with the water people. There's so much, they're smart, yo. There's so much into that. Just understanding water and light and darkness and it's deep shit. We're going to get into that in the next DVD because it's a lot to get into. But this is just, we don't want to put out. Again, I have so many videos. I get into this information. But you guys need to know, for the people who had the questions, who hit me up about this stuff, and just understanding that, it's whole big discussion. And, people pull me into discussions all the fucking time, especially family members and friends. They'll call me, I got another one. You got this Hebrew on the line. You talk to this brother. And, it happens a lot. But I had to really mediate a fucking huge argument on the third eye being Satan's eye. It's the eye of Sauron. It's the eye that's on the back of the dollar. I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny when you know. But I get it. I understand, why people would believe that. And the consciousness that's put out there for you to accept this. And again, this deals with what you're taking in and what's being put out there that we don't control. This is so sophisticated on a level that you can't comprehend what's taking place because we're so saturated in it and it's just so normal to us. Our daily life of us listening and watching and accepting and receiving what we're seeing and everything and how it's influencing everything. And people just don't want to fucking admit it because it's like admitting you wrong or that you was tricked. Nobody want to admit that they was tricked and they feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? So people just suppress it and move on, whatever. And then it's constant. So, there's no way to take time to reflect on what happened to you to deal with it because you're constantly being bombarded with the shit. This is what we say when we're conscious. A lot of you motherfuckers talking about being conscious. You ain't conscious at all. You're not. You just saying it because you think you read some shit. You think you know some shit. It's so deep than that. So deeper than that. It encompasses so much. And a lot of people have no clue. But pineal gland issue, God issue, Satan issue. It's about balance. And as soon as you find that balance within yourself and learn how to balance it and balance you and balance these energies and balance what's being put out there, you'll be straight. It's one of the reasons why the Bible said, basically don't be in this world. Separate yourself from it. That's one of the reasons why in Buddhism, they live the way they live, the monks, and they separate themselves from all this stuff. But then they starting to realize now that there has to be a balance. But this is why we're seeing monks out in, New York, Vegas here, handing out beads and on airplanes and stuff now. You see them at the airport, monks, because they're starting to realize that there's a balance. It's a balance that you have to be interactive with. This world is here for a reason. You must interact with it. And you have to have this spiritual balance and this physical balance, Nirvana, reaching it. So you had a lot of monks, and we've seen this before, where they just be in meditation for days, and then they die. And it's basically like your God energy or your subconscious being done with you when you reach Nirvana. Everybody thinks it's this huge, no disrespect to anybody that's Buddhist or what have you, but it's your subconscious saying, you know what, this guy gets it, and there's no point in being in this body because him and this incarnation is not going to do what we need him to do. He's going to be in the state of enlightenment. And you have these, I talked about the dopamine receptors around the pineal gland. And when I just said you're in this state of meditation and you have this constant flow of Kundalini energy going through and stimulating the pineal gland, you don't want to leave that because in this state, you have everything. You have everything. You're there. So there's no point of being physical anymore. So you reach Nirvana and you go and they come back, So it's deeper than that, but still, not all of them come back. It's a good thing, but you have to have this balance to make it right, to make it a real full connection. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch, and thanks to everybody who took advantage of the Never Pay Again sale. Make sure you guys take advantage of it if it's still available. I'm not sure if it's still up, but it's going to be gone soon. And more videos to come. See you guys next video.